Welcome, everyone. This is Recovery Dharma. My name is Julia. I'm one of the facilitators of this beautiful, beautiful community. We have a very large group of folks online joining us today from all over the world. What a treat, what an honor and privilege to be able to practice with you. I'd like to begin our practice today by setting the intention for our practice, the motivation for why we are here. Now, for some of us, there may be a motivation that says something like, well, I'm here to recover from substance use disorder. I'm here to shift my relationship to negative habit energy. That is true and not the whole truth. Because in the Buddhist inspired journey of recovery, we are endeavoring to recover the whole of ourselves, not just the most complicated, complex habit that is governing our lives. So I'd like to share with you this sentiment of metta, loving kindness. It reads, "May I treat my emotions as vital wisdom keepers. May I treat my emotions as vital wisdom keepers." I really like that sentiment. It's been very helpful for me. It's a gentle kindness toward myself because I have a history of treating my emotions as a nuisance. And I think some of that comes from conditioning, societal conditioning, particularly as a woman. I grew up hearing noise and clanging ideas like, women are hysterical. Women can't be trusted because they're so emotional and so forth. And I have found that my emotions, when I can be with them with sincerity and compassion and understanding, they have something to tell me. They are great revealers. And so I've discovered over the years that my emotions are entryways, thresholds to wisdom. So may you treat your emotions, all of them, as wisdom keepers. And let's breathe that in and out together. Breathing in, breathing out. We have several friends here today who are new to the Spokane Sangha, and I just want to extend a very extra warm welcome to you. For the month of April, we are exploring the fourth noble truth in Buddhism. Beginning in January, we touched into the first noble truth, and I'd like to just quickly review them from a traditional point of view and from the reimagined point of view. So the traditional point of view of the first noble truth is there is suffering. And for me and in my Buddhist practice, that idea of suffering, that word, was confusing to me for a long time because it was heavy handed. I'm not always suffering, but I'm almost always uncomfortable. There's something always going on in my day that's going to piss me off and irritate me and upset the balance of my life every day. I can count on it. And so I reimagined the First Noble Truth to recognize that there's discomfort in my life. And not only that, but sometimes there's comfort in my life that can become a source of discomfort. And for those of us in recovery, boy, don't we know that? We use a substance and it brings relief. It's a good thing. It's a fun party for a while until it's not. So sometimes the things that bring us comfort become sources of discomfort. And the second noble truth reminds us that there are reasons for this. There are conditions and causes for that. And the third noble truth is, if we can understand what those conditions and causes are, traditional language says there's an end to suffering, but that was always really confusing to me because it became a source of attachment. Okay, I'm going to understand the source of the conditions of my suffering and my misery so that I won't experience it anymore forever and ever. Amen. And yet the next day would come and I'd be irritated again. And so the end of suffering was very temporary. And I found that annoying. So I had to reimagine it. And so the third noble truth in my imagination for my practice is there's harmony. And my harmony can stretch for long periods of time and it can be very quick and a flicker. But nevertheless, it comes the more I understand the causes and conditions of the discomfort and comfort in my life. The fourth noble truth, what we're going to explore this month in traditional language is there's a way to the end of suffering, and it's called the Noble Eightfold Path. I like to reimagine the fourth noble truth, that is, as this is a practice. To identify my discomforts and comforts, to identify the causes and conditions of them, and to experience, acknowledge, and have reverence toward my harmony is a practice. And I have to practice it all the time, every day. That's the journey for me. Now, the Noble Eightfold Path is comprised of 8 really broad concepts. I have reimagined all of them. And what I'd like to do is suspend the traditional language for a little bit. And today, introduce you to the reimagined version because these are qualities that we can all cultivate in our own being. The more we can become and cultivate these qualities as a practice, the more we are guaranteed to experience harmony, the more we are guaranteed to see and understand the causes and conditions of our own misery. And interestingly enough, it begins with a very simple word, 2 letters, in fact. This whole practice begins with the word be, B-E, be. I'd like to put this into first person. As I have learned to be in the moment, to be myself, and that includes the messy me. That includes the confused me, the controlling me, the upended me, angry, disillusioned, bewildered, petty me. It also includes the joyful, kind, soft, curious, smart, creative, irrepressible, loving me. To be is a kind of presence that enables me to acknowledge the whole of me, all of me. And you know, in spiritual circles, there's a lot of people that like to suggest, yeah, and to be present to myself without judgment is the name of the game. And I'm not sure it is. I'm going to question that because I'm full of judgment. Let me just flat out say that. It's not particularly noble. I'm not proud of that, but I am. I judge myself. Sometimes I judge myself harshly. Sometimes I judge myself arrogantly. Sometimes I judge myself honestly. But judgment is part of my practice, it's part of my habit energy. So when I practice simple being, that's when I begin to suspend the judgment. I notice, oh, look at me judging. Huh, let me see if I can be with that. So to be is a real neutral quality, almost like I like to call it a spiritual anthropologist. Can you just observe without stepping in, without interfering, without commentary? Can you just take note of yourself and be? When I ask myself that question, friends, the honest answer is yes and no. Sometimes my capacity to be is amazing, and sometimes my capacity to be is pathetic. And most of the time, my capacity to be is somewhere in between. That's my practice. So today, that's all I want to practice with you is being right here, right now, exactly as you are. Your body as it is, your emotions as they are, your mind as it is, thoughts and stories. So we're going to today for our meditation be with the four foundations of mindfulness. And so I'm just going to very quickly guide you to these 4 points of contact with yourself. And you can travel to all of them, or you can land and hang out in one place if you want to. Be however you need to be today and invite that to be perfect. That's your practice and celebrate it. To be with your body is to simply notice the body. Notice how it breathes. No need to change anything. Notice if you're finding it difficult to sit still and just be with that. Notice if there's any tension in the body, any sourness in the belly, any stress on the face. Notice, be with each of those things. Notice your mood and your wisdom keeper emotions. Is your mood worried and anxious? Is your mood somber and blue? Is your mood curious and joyful? However your emotions are, however your mood is in this moment is perfect. Be with that. Be with yourself exactly as you are. Notice. What are the thoughts swirling in the quiet privacy of your own mind? Are they shocking thoughts? Surprising thoughts? Judgmental? Harsh? Are you entertaining thoughts of boredom or can't do this? Again, notice these are thoughts. They're only in the driver's seat of your life if you act upon them. Otherwise, they can be treated like fog, sort of descending on the warmth of your mind, only to be dissipated by the brightness of your heart. See if your thoughts gather into a story. I'm always amazed when I can be present to my stories. I'll have a thought from a memory, say, and golly, within seconds, I have a novella written. And I'm always amazed at my imagination because I'll have a memory and maybe it's an interaction I had with someone. And the next thing I know, I'm telling a whole story about it and I'm writing scripts. I'm writing my script. I'm writing everybody else's script. I'm writing stage scenery, all of it a figment of my imagination, all of it a story. Some of it may be true, most of it not the whole truth. Just observe. Oh, look at the story I'm telling myself. Huh? Would you look at that? Fascinating. Let me see if I can be with that. And when you're done with this global personal exploration, being with yourself, you can join me in this breathing mantra exercise. Breathing in this present moment. Breathing out. Being with myself exactly as I am. Breathing in this present moment. Breathing out, being with myself exactly as I am. Breathing in, present. Breathing out, being. For the next few moments of silence, friends, enjoy this practice. Friends, I'd like to take us toward the conclusion of our meditation today and our reflection by singing a very simple yet beautiful chant to Shakyamuni Buddha. I'm just going to chant this one time. If you know this chant, you can join me. Otherwise, just allow this wonderful honoring to resonate somewhere in the mind and heart. Tayata muni muni maha muni soha. Let's go ahead and end our practice today, friends, with a dedication of merit, and we'll turn the recording back on. Okay. What's coming alive for me in this moment is to chant the "May I be happy and peaceful" dedication. And if you know it, you can sing along. It's just a wonderful way of taking refuge in ourselves, in this community, and cultivating a spirit of liberation. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be healthy and strong. May I be safe and protected. May I live with ease. Thank you so much, friends. We'll see you next time. Namaste.